This time, whatever we want, we talk about.
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Spoilers, major, huge big spoilers ahead for the game, for all 9 movies, and all of Star Wars content, really. There are time codes down in the description if you'd like to jump around to different points in the episode. We talk everything from the new combat system, behind-the-scenes development trouble, mechanics we liked, mechanics we didn't like, and more. Enjoy!
Yeah.
Welcome back to Whatever We Want, where we review content across all mediums of media, movies, TV shows, video games, and beyond, to give you the most interesting behind-the-scenes insights, storytelling techniques, all that jazz, and more.
This is the hub for all things Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, and more. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
PreBanter, PreBanter. Daniel, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, doing pretty good. Just messed up the intro again, but it's okay. You can edit that. We're good.
All right, so one thing, because we're doing a video game segment this week, I just want to say for PreBanter, I learned recently that not recently, but I have weird finger placement for WSAD.
You do?
I know you're a lefty, but I use my ring finger on W.
Hold it up like as a keyboard, and then for the YouTube, like edit over the reverse side of the keyboard.
I'm not doing that. But yeah, so apparently other people use their middle finger for like W, but like, I don't know, it's just easier for me because like I already type with my hand like that. So whatever, I'm different. Deal with it, everyone. Yeah, we have a good long episode today about Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. We're bringing back on Darin, who was on our Boba Fett episode 2 episode, I believe. We get into it. He is like a Lego Star Wars like expert. Makes a lot of cool content about it.
Cheese.
Linked below. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the main segment. Boosh. We're back with Darin. Darin, thank you again for joining us on the show. How are you doing?
What's up? I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Last time you were on, we talked about Book of Boba Fett episode 2, right?
It was definitely one of the episodes. But...
Yeah. So it's been a while, but like,
yeah.
I mean, so because of that, Darin is like a resident Star Wars expert, but more so, you're resident Lego Star Wars expert. So I think you have the credentials to talk about what we're talking about this week. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about, I don't know, your just love of Legos or Lego Star Wars? Anything?
I mean, I've always loved Legos, but I kind of went on like I re-emerged into loving of it over COVID and kind of blew every single paycheck I got on the newest sets.
Nice.
That is very responsible. I commend that.
Of course. And I mean, now I went and recently blew my paycheck on the new game. So
nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, we'll link everything below. But Darin is on TikTok and he makes a lot of Lego Star Wars content actually. So yeah, definitely check him out. So we're here to talk about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I'm so freaking excited. It came out Tuesday and is now Saturday. So I wanted to ask everyone, like both you guys, how far you've gotten.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Darin, I think you're probably gonna be the farthest, right? You have to be.
Yeah, so how far have you gotten?
Right now, I just blew up the Dreadnought as Poe Dameron in episode 8.
Dang, okay.
Have you been playing through like chronologically?
Yeah, I started at Phantom Menace.
1 through 8.
So you're
I'm in the sequels.
Oh my goodness.
How is episode 8? Because I was reading, and the last Lego Star Wars game that was made was episode 7. They made that whole game. So this is the first time we've ever seen episodes 8 and 9 in Lego Star Wars. So what do you think of 8 so far?
I mean, I've only really just done the first level, but
okay.
I mean, I loved it. It was that bombing. It was, the bombing run over the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. Like every level. Even I was a little nervous of doing the sequels because I was like, well, the episode 7 had like a whole game made for it. So now it's just gonna be like a small part. I wanted to like see, would it be too similar? Like, would I get bored of them? Because like, I got a little bored of the levels in like just the Force Awakens game.
Yeah.
But no, I would say they did it phenomenally.
That's one thing I do want to talk about later that you mentioned, but like, because this is all 9 movies, they like condensed how many levels there were. Usually in like when it was just a trilogy of movies, there were 6 levels per episode. So it was like 18 levels, I think, with the 3 times 6, like for just one trilogy, like the original 2. But now they brought it back to only 5 levels per episode, but because there's 9 episodes, that's 45 levels.
That's just crazy to think about.
Plus, a lot of the story happens outside of the.
I was gonna say a lot of it is in the open world.
Yeah, and I want to get to all that, but Daniel, how far did you get in?
Okay, so I finished the prequels and started A New Hope.
So I kind of did that, but in a roundabout way. Like
you start off with episode 4.
Yeah, well, that was the first one that like it starts on that for me. But like I know Darin talked about he starting in the prequels, and I was like, all right, I'll cover the original trilogy. And I knew Daniel, you were also starting the prequels, and I did episode 4, and I was like, that was fun. but I love the prequels. So I then jumped back and did all of the prequels. So I've done all of 4, and then 1 through 3, and I finished 3 last night. Just with work, I've been. But yeah, so
I love that.
I'm excited for that and to keep going. I kind of want to jump into the story a little bit, I mean, it's obviously Star Wars, but just the Lego-ified version. So what did you guys think of like the 5 levels per episode? Do you think that was like a good amount, or?
I would say, yeah, like, I mean, you started saying in some cases, and I would agree that in some cases that they didn't capture a lot of it, but there were also like a few points where they kind of skipped over like the story parts where I would really have loved to play them.
Like what?
For example, like, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the beginning of episode 3.
Yeah, that's what Daniel said too.
Yeah, I said that too.
Daniel and I were playing together on Discord last night, and he was like, "Oh, this is the best part! I'm so excited to play this." And I was like a few minutes ahead of him, so I knew it was just a cutscene. And then we landed and was like, "What the heck?"
I was sad. I was also sad that this is going to sound bad, but I wanted to have a thing where we killed the younglings. You know,
oh my god,
execute 66 myself.
No, I would have loved to have walked in as Anakin, like, and just have like a 50 or have. Yeah, I guess just a 501st Trooper as like player 2. Yeah. Just walk and just decimate the Jedi Temple.
Yeah,
that would have been sweet. There's also things too, like where I felt like things didn't work out too well, like the Yoda fight again in episode 3.
I would have prefaced this. All right, before you say that, I just think I really liked it. I think you guys liked it too. We're just super nitpicking right now because that's what we're doing. But we really liked it overall. But yeah,
I loved it. I love this game so much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, Danny.
But no, like for example, there's situations where it feels like the co-opness wasn't really the best. Like again, with the Yoda fight, you're either Yoda or the captain. Right? It's like, what the heck is the captain doing there? You know?
Or in episode 3 on Mustafar, when you're the droids or Obi-Wan, you're like, what?
Yeah, no, I was playing with my roommate. I was like, you want to pick it up? Like, we'll play split screen. And it was right at that Palpatine fight. And I'm just like, oh, wow, they really just didn't care about player 2.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was just sitting there while I'm like fighting Palpatine.
Yeah. But so besides like the main stories, what are you guys' thoughts on like all the side missions and just all of the depth of the world and everything?
So I honestly haven't gone that far into the side missions yet.
Okay, you've been rushing story.
Post game, yeah, I'm rushing the story. But I've done a few of them, and mostly like the space ones, like when you're standing in space. Yeah, and I love all of those. Like I thought they did them really well.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the mechanics are done very well. I mean, it's crazy to think about how much they changed from like the original nostalgic feel of like Lego games, like with the whole new like combat system, which is still like simple, but it feels good
with combos.
Yeah,
right. The combos feel great. You know what I mean?
They changed everything.
They feel so fun.
Like I was looking up some interviews with like the main developers, but they literally started everything from scratch. What they did was like they started in this new engine, like it was called NTT, pronounced entity, and that actually caused a lot of problems within the studio. Like people were kind of upset that they didn't use Unreal, but I'll talk about that later. But so they used this new engine and started everything from scratch. Like they didn't take anything from like the old games, just like the feel and like nostalgia, but they like built from the ground up like the new combat system. Had a lot of meetings about like what to do within like the upgrade tree and stuff like that, which I really like that aspect of it.
Oh, the upgrades are so cool.
And I just like the combos are different, like with each character. I think that's really cool. Like Daniel really likes fighting with Yoda and like all the flips and like force
Yoda is
he uses.
A dream.
Yeah, I really can't emphasize how much I really like the combos and just that fighting system. Plus, you can aim now with guns. That's a whole new thing. That's cool. And the lightsaber battles, it doesn't feel like you're just swinging around. Like it feels like heavy and like intentional hits. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was cool.
And different like fighting moments when you're in like the boss fights. So like the moments where you're having to do like the counters, like the spamming of. I use a PlayStation controller, so it's like triangle, versus like the other like button mashing moments. Like they're not just like they're actually entertaining in a way because it's like okay, now I'm getting to the next phase of the fight. It's communicative in ways like that, which is good gameplay moments. That's good pacing, which is I feel like other games should take more note of things like that. Again, it's super simple, but it works. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freaking droids can attack too now. That's great.
Oh my goodness, yeah, C-3PO. I feel like C-3PO got a major boost. Jump. Yes.
Yeah.
But also the fact that R2 can't hover.
I know.
Yeah, R2 got nerfed.
He got nerfed so hard.
I know. He could attack like pretty well, but I wish he could fly still or like hover.
There's been so many times where I like jump off with like the scavenger glide things. I'm like with R2. I'm like, oh wait, no, I can't do that.
No, honestly, I wish that I thought that they were gonna incorporate like flying, like how they did in like the Lego superhero games a little bit more. Like maybe like Jango Fett or Boba Fett, and you'd be able to fly.
Can you not? I haven't played Django or Boba.
No, I rushed to buy them just for that purpose, just to see if I could. Yeah. And it's kind of like a light hover for like a few. It's kind of how R2D2 did it in the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like,
So R2 got brought down a peg to human regular level, and then Django and Boba got brought down to R2's old level. I want to talk about also the voice actor cast, because I really thought they did a great job, because usually like in the old Lego Star Wars games they did like mumble mode, which I think is really cool. You can still do mumble mode in this, but they brought a lot of people back, and just thought it was really cool. And this also, it's kind of sad, but this is actually Tom Kane's final voice performance. He was the guy that played the narrator in Clone Wars, and like he voiced Admiral Akbar, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Yoda in the Lego Star Wars game, this game. And he unfortunately had a stroke after he recorded like all of his lines for this like later, and he retired from voice acting. So this is actually his final performance.
Oh dang!
Oh wow!
Yes, but I thought he did a great job.
I mean, props to him. He did an amazing job.
Yoda,
yeah. Like it's great, you know.
Loved hearing his voice at the beginning of all Clone Wars episodes.
I know, yeah. And then they also I like that they brought the Clone Wars actors back, like specifically like for the droids, because like the droids were very much more mechanical in like the actual prequels, but they brought like the fun, goofy like droids in like battle droids in this one.
Just makes sense. It's Lego.
Yeah. And the Clone Wars actors.
Yeah, James Arnold Taylor, Matt Lanter.
Yeah, James Arnold Taylor for Obi-Wan. And it's also cool because like they're voice actors, so they're used to like playing just a voice, not doing the whole motion. Like I feel like if they brought back Ewan McGregor, I would love that, and I'm sure he would have done a fantastic job, but like he's more, I think, live action, like used to that, so it might have been different, but I don't know.
I was always thinking, I'm like, it must be so cool for those actors, because like just like specifically like James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanter, like Anakin and Obi-Wan and Anakin, they kind of have been at least our generation's like biggest source of that character. So like I thought it would be like so cool for them, like going into the studio there and reading the lines like from the movie. So it's like they're actually playing their character in the movies.
This is like one of the first times I'm probably hearing all of them play, like say those lines. And obviously it's not like it's like Lego-ified, so it's probably like more cheesy and like funny than like if they were like really trying to be like serious, like they were recreating the movie, but still it's really cool. Also, I would mention like Sam Witwer. He voiced Maul and Palpatine, and I just freaking love Sam Witwer. Like he's the guy that was the lead in The Force Unleashed, and then and actually what happened was in The Force Unleashed they were trying to find someone to voice Palpatine, and Sam Witwer kind of like not really showboating, but it maybe came across as showboating. It was like, oh, I can do Palpatine, and the casting people were like, yeah, really, prove it. And then he like came in and did it, and then from then on he like kind of voiced Palpatine in that, and he voiced Maul. He also, same thing with Maul happened, and he now voices Maul in all the Clone Wars and like Rebel stuff, and he also voiced him in Solo. He was the voice while
Ray Park.
Yeah, he was the like physical portrayal of it. So that was really cool. I loved him as Palpatine. I thought he did a great job.
No, Sam Witwer's an incredible. Like one of my favorite clips of his is it's like him in the studio doing the Kenobi. Crazy Maul. Well, just like that crazy Maul. Like I see him in my mind's eye. That thing. I love that.
That is a very cool clip. But they also brought back Anthony Daniels for C-3PO.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I had it in my notes as Anthony Daniel. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. It's Daniels. They had Billy D. Williams back for Lando.
One other of the voice actors that I thought was kind of cool who they, I guess, brought back is, I think it's Daniel Logan, who was the kid version of Boba Fett.
Oh, really? Who did he play?
He voices Boba Fett.
Oh, like, seriously?
In the movies, he was the kid.
Yeah,
and then
That's interesting.
Cool. Boba Fett in the game.
I did not know that. I haven't gotten to Boba Fett yet. That's cool. I just assumed it was going to be the Clone Wars actor again.
No, it's the only different voice, which I think is kind of weird. But then, like, I like having him have his role again.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to talk about with the story, just overall, is I think it was really funny. So when they go into the cantina, this is just a personal thing, but like my ringtone from my phone is the Cantina song. So I literally thought like my phone was ringing. I was like, oh shoot, no, it's not. But then, because like I said, I did episode 4 first, so I heard that. And then I went back into the prequels, And in episode 2, there's like a quick little thing where Dooku is getting called on his hologram, and it's Palpatine calling it, but it's the Cantina theme. So I was like, oh my gosh, his ringtone's the same as mine.
You and Dooku have the same minds. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Have you ever seen Dooku and me in the same room together? Yeah, so I kind of want to talk about just like the attention to detail in this is actually insane.
Just seeing like the sand particles that will get on like they're like I know they made a big deal of that. Like even like going to like Dagobah. I mean, I guess you guys probably haven't gone to Dagobah yet.
No,
but
you can spoil it for me. It's Star Wars.
Well, I mean, just going there like R2-D2 getting all like muddy and stuff.
Yeah,
like, you can. It looks so sick.
Yeah, that was something they highlighted in one of the like trailers. I think was like when you like go to like a muddy planet, your character gets muddy and like some of the creases, the Lego bricks, and like same with Hoth, you get like snowy. But in addition to just that attention to detail, I also saw that a fact that like all of the ships, they try to make as much as possible out of Lego, but all of the ships are also Legos, even including like the interiors and the exteriors. So like they built the Death Star entirely out of Legos. They built the Star Destroyers. I saw it was the Star Destroyer's design was made out of 18 million Lego pieces, and it wasn't based on like an existing like Lego set. They built it from scratch.
Something like that makes me hope that they'll just like take those ideas and just kind of release them as sets. Although 18,000,
18 million. It was 18
million.
million.
18 million. Oh wait, never mind.
Think about the trench run, like
the trench run. Oh my goodness,
that's insane.
I feel like you need to have like the way to make that work, like me as a modeler.
Yeah, how would you like
designer,
render 18 million little pieces?
Okay, here's how I'd start off with, right? You need to get a library of the Lego brick assets, and then you need to come up with a system, like in code, you know how they're able to like build into each other, right? Then you're able to do multiple things with that. You can do like noise on top of that. So for example, say you want like greebling, you just put like a simple noise on that, and then it'll then mimic that with greeble. So greebling is like, it's a popular technique in Star Wars, but also done a lot in Lego to add extra detail to things that seem pretty mundane. So for example, think of the Millennium Falcon. There's all kinds of different like tubes and like notches and hatches and stuff like that to add extra detail onto like the side panels and so on.
Yeah, it's like texturing everything.
Yeah. It's done a lot in like kit bashing as well.
Yeah, I think I saw a Corridor reacts where like Adam Savage, because he worked on some of the prequels, they talked about that. And apparently there's like this one like specific, it's like the Wilhelm scream of greebling pretty much. Like everyone tries to fit it in somehow onto their, and like you can see it, like it's in like on Star Wars, it's on the Millennium Falcon, it's like on a bunch of other ships. Like it's just a thing that like people use. It's like a little Easter egg. So that's kind of cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, but then you'd have to come up with like some kind of, at least if it was me, I'd come up with some kind of AI so that way I could then like have like a like proxy volume and then tell that AI, okay, brickify this. And then because it knows how the bricks go together and stuff like that, it would then just do it, and then you have your new mesh of the bricks. I feel like that'd be the easiest. So you're saying you wouldn't.
So what you're saying, you wouldn't build it like individually. You just like make an AI do it.
Well, you could do that for large. That's probably the way that they.
But is that what you're describing?
I'm saying if you want to do like large procedural stuff, that's probably going to be the best way to do it.
You'd like submit like a 3D rendering of like that item, and then it would like basically take it and make it into bricks.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be the, like, if you want to do like quick processing to really get things to go quick, that'd be good. And you can always go back in and like change out pieces and stuff like that too. That's not a problem. The trench run stuff like that, the way they probably did that was they probably made mocks of like assets. So for example, like a block of like this section of the Death Star, and then they just duped it and like moved it down the line.
But just with the attention to detail, like I saw in an interview that they literally tried to make like certain creatures in Star Wars that aren't in any Lego sets. They wanted to have them in, like one sandworm or something like that. So they literally built custom 3D Lego like designs for those creatures, and like what they would do is they would take reference from like existing Lego bricks from like other universes or like other similar Star Wars things that were kind of like similar, like in similar vein, and then they'd like design it kind of based on Lego design specs to like what it would look like if Lego were to officially like release it.
Yeah, well, it was internally from the like modeling team, or did they get like actual master builders to like?
It was internally from the modeling team.
That's crazy.
Yeah, although like it was internally from the modeling team, like from TT Games, not Lego. Like Lego didn't.
That's awesome.
I'm sure they gave resources, really awesome. But yeah,
it's kind of like that'd be a good like. Imagine if you're someone who's working at TT, but you always wanted to be like a master builder. Be like, hey, here's what I got.
It's your time to shine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the dream job right there.
Honestly,
at TT Games.
Sweet. I mean, that master builder, like any of that. if I could get paid to just play with Legos.
I don't know if working at TT Games is actually the dream job. When I was doing this research, I've read that apparently there are a lot of problems like working on this and just at TT Games. Like,
why?
Apparently it's like a horrible working like environment. Like, I don't want to hate on them completely because like I don't know the whole situation, and they obviously like produce good results and like fun games, but like you have to think about like the means to how they're producing that. So apparently like since TD Games was like formed, like with the higher ups, like they kind of worked in overtime as like an expectation, and like people got yelled at if they tried to like leave early, and like the employees would literally like recall like breaking down according to some like anonymous interviews, and like they literally like they had a name after like a game would come out, they would call it PTTSD because like TT Games.
Jeez.
And so they tried to avoid it this time with this game with using a longer development period, but it didn't fix things because of the new engine we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so you're having to mantle a whole bunch of new problems with that.
Yeah,
and starting from scratch.
Apparently, because this engine was developed in-house, like to build this game, it apparently took like 5 times as long to like import or like literally do anything in this engine than it did like Unreal or other engines that people were familiar with. And during pre-production of the game, they were doing it using Unreal in mind. So when they decided then after pre-production to use Entity, they had to like revamp everything from pre-production, and it just was like a huge headache. And apparently they're not going to be using that engine again. But it's kind of annoying. Some sources think,
I was going to say, because it looks really good.
I know, but some sources think that like the reason they didn't use Unreal was because they wanted to avoid like paying for Unreal, and I'm just like, that sucks. Like, come on.
Okay, out of all the engines, like that's gonna be the most minimal of fees. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say though, I think if they use it right, isn't Unreal's owned by Epic Games, right?
Yeah.
Just know we could get like a Lego skin in Fortnite then if they did that.
Dude!
Oh, dang.
That was just the first thing. You're like, I feel like anything that uses Unreal gets a skin in Fortnite. And
honestly,
I feel like it would not put it past Lego.
Yeah.
Game. But no, but like that's so, because think about it, right? If I'm pretty sure it's after the first million, it's either first million made or first million sales, they start taking like, I think like 10% Unreal does, which in the grand scheme of things, if you're getting to that point, even as like big game studios are okay with that, whether it be like Rocksteady, which have made like the Batman Arkham games, to like all kinds of other like crazy game studios. So like that's gonna be a problem, especially with somebody who like TT has been known for making their Lego games for so long. What engine did they use before? Did they use Unreal Engine before? Were they using?
I think they like had it was like New 2 or something, like NU2 or something was like that. Like they had a bunch of other ones. I don't know exactly.
I think they used the Unreal Engine for like DC Villains 2, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
I think I remember seeing the thing on the load up screen.
Gotcha. Yeah, but it was apparently like that's not even like the end of like all the problems. Like apparently, so like this is just before this game, but like with like the problems with the company culture. But there was apparently like a leak once with I think one of the like Lego like DC things. Like there, so like, or maybe it was like something else. But like what happened? Basically, they cracked down on security, so employees literally could not go to other floors besides the one they were working on. So they're restricted to that. And in turn, that kind of accidentally just made the working environment so much worse because like employees couldn't go up to HR like discreetly to like talk about horrible working environments because like they had to like ask their supervisor, and then the supervisor would be like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "I'm going to HR, like complain about you." Like you can't say that. So like they couldn't go to HR to like talk about any like horrible working environment. So it just like led to a lot of problems. Apparently 40 employees left TT Games since the start of 2021. Yeah, it's just also during the development of this game, they like switched management like halfway through. So like I like don't know how this game got made, honestly. I understand why I got delayed so many times.
That honestly might explain this kind of the segment or transition to the next segment, I guess. Bugs.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the first, like, I mean, again, it just launched, you know. So there's always going to be like bugs within the first week. They already had like their first week patches and stuff like that. But
yeah, you had a funny one,
dude.
I saw a really funny one.
Well, I had so many bugs. There's one time where I couldn't get into the pod race as Anakin. So like I'd start up the pod race mission and then it would just crash.
What about the face? Faces.
I've had faceless people.
You've had faceless too?
Everywhere. At first, my first load up of the game, no characters rendered in, like at all.
What?
So like on the like, you know how they have like that screen where it's like they'll show you through all the scenes and stuff?
Yeah.
I was just seeing floating lightsabers and floating guns. Not a single character loaded in.
Oh,
I was like, all right, is this right or is this?
This is Lego Star Wars.
Are they using the
lightsaber
Force? Like, are
edition.
they off screen? Like,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, are they gonna in and then show them like using it? But no, I just had to reload and I got them back. But yes, I know people. Faceless people are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I said it's the person from Avatar: Last Airbender, that face stealer, got to them all.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if you think about it, in like technical wise, because all the facial things in most cases, they're like their own rigs, like their own technical like parts of the character rigs, and they're 2D assets. They're not like 3D things. So having them render could be like a totally different layer that they have set up. I don't know how they're doing it with this new engine, but
no, one of the funniest ones I think that happened for me, and that makes sense with that, is when Palpatine. It's like when Palpatine turns into like when he goes from Episode 3 when Mace Windu is like hitting him with the lightning. Like you could see he started and then all of a sudden just blank face and then became the Emperor. And I was like, ah.
Oh, that's so funny. The cutscene where he's just talking to Anakin after that, and he's like,
yeah, it's just nothing.
Oh,
it's funny.
Join the dark side.
I had one where I was doing like a battle, you know, where it's like you press Y a bunch of times or like the top button to like clash the lightsaber really fast. It's like ding, 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 it's like
you didn't have a lightsaber?
Yeah, I like was doing a force power and then like my game just automatically went into that, so my lightsaber wasn't ignited. So I was just like clashing with like Grievous was fighting me and I was like fending it back with the force. I was like, what?
That happened with me with Palpatine before we got like up into like the Senate room. So just like Yoda down there, just like this, just like, like yeah, like nothing's happening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's the thing though. Like I don't know the long-term reception because I feel like the initial nostalgia and like hype is here. I'm hoping that those bugs will like not taint people's like opinion of the game, and I hope that TT Games doesn't like go under or like lose Lego, because that's another thing that I read. Apparently, like with the old like management that they had before it like got overhauled, they had like a whole team. It was like a brainstorming group that would think of ideas for games they could do if Lego were to go under, and they were kind of like having a few products in development. Not if Lego would go under, if they'd lose the rights to Lego. Because Lego has started like toying with the idea of like using other publishers, especially for mobile games, but they've like apparently behind the scenes have looked at other places if like Warner Brothers loses the rights. But apparently when this new studio came in, they just got rid of that. So now like all of TT Games' eggs are in Lego's basket, which is like okay, I think, but I'm just worried like if something were to happen, like they're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong, but I think that they just license. There's some like sort of trademarking or licensing things going on about another game coming from TT Games.
Really? Do you think it would be like not the Skywalker Saga? Like maybe they'll do like Mandalorian, Boba Fett, other things.
What people are doing, what I've seen speculation of, and maybe not, but like people like, what if they did like a Lego Infinity Saga, where they take the movies because they've done like a Lego Avengers.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
like that, maybe like a Sonyverse.
That's the thing. I don't know how well that would be received, because if you think about it, like the Avengers game, like that wasn't really received that well. You know, it had like its launch, but like its lifespan was just tainted with like a lot of bugs, and just the community just didn't catch on, which is kind of sad. That's one thing that kind of is the saving grace for this game, because it's not gameplay bugs, it's just visual bugs. You know, it's like you're not able to, it's not like you're running into a situation where you can't like do things, other than like that one time where I couldn't
I was gonna say with
enter
the
a level.
race.
Yeah.
Other than when my game kept crashing. It's completely fine except for the $50.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say about TT Games is that it seems like it's maybe trying to go on the right track. Like apparently since this game like came out, or like since the new management came in, they've heard the complaints and they're trying to. They promise they're not going to use Entity anymore. They're going to try to use Unreal. And then they're also limiting overtime hours, so they're not like forcing people to do as many. So hopefully progress is happening. Really yeah. Anyways, that's enough down talk about the game. Let's talk about
evil corporations.
Some good things. I want to talk about the attention to detail because like this game had so much like for fans. I feel like hardcore fans. Like the name of the level was like Mustafar was the high ground. Like that's so freaking funny.
Oh, the first or the fight against Darth Maul. I mean, people have been talking about the
Better Call Maul.
Better Call Maul.
Yeah,
it's so funny. I think Qui-Gon like references Taken like twice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh my god, dude! I was randomly on Tatooine, and he's like, "I have a particular set of skills, but they're not useful here."
It's just those little things that like those little details that like they don't need to include, but it like elevates it so much. Like if you catch it, and they're like everywhere, like in every corner. If you talk to someone, they like say something funny or like just little references and like little things that you might not even notice. Like for example, in episode 4, Chewbacca like doesn't get a medal, and it's just like really funny. Everyone else around him like gets a medal at the end. And like in episode 4, the stormtrooper like clanks his head on the door as he runs in. It was so funny.
I love that. I saw something, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but I think I saw it on Twitter. But in the final level where it's Rey versus Palpatine, Palpatine just has like a throwaway line like during combat where he's like, "Rey, like that's a stupid name. I wanted to call you." I think it was Kira or something like that. And it was like was the original like concept arts for Rey.
That George Lucas kind of was vouching for before Disney was like, no. Yeah, so that's and just that so much attention to detail. There was one I saw, the voice actor for Leia. She apparently did half of episode 4 in a British accent and then the last half in American accent, because apparently that's like kind of what Carrie Fisher did. Like she started out with a British accent and then kind of like stepped away from it, which I never really even noticed in.
I was gonna say that's crazy that you even mentioned that because like I knew she did that, but even playing the Lego games, I didn't even really notice.
Yeah, just how subtle and like,
it was so accurate.
It was. Yeah.
Have any one of us done mumble mode?
No. I haven't.
I want to see what the voice, because I'm assuming it's the same voice actors doing the same mumbles, right? So it's like I want to see what
that's tough.
Like, compare
like you could. That's so much money, like to hire Anthony Daniels to mumble for C-3PO instead of just getting like a random person.
That is true.
I wouldn't pass it. In Loki, one of my favorite things with that is they had cast Thor to just scream, or Chris Hemsworth to scream once.
Yeah, that is true.
As Frog Thor, yeah.
That is cool.
So I mean, I wouldn't put it past people to make crazy purchases.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you guys liked the best out of this game? If you had to like sum it up to like a couple things.
Mando.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the DLC. And like the add-ons and stuff with the pre-order.
I got the pre-order stuff, and then also I'm almost done doing like a lot of the free play stuff in Theed. We were talking about that earlier. I didn't jump in, but I love all the little details you're able to do and like find, like again, just in the world. And it's also kind of funny, you're able to cheese some situations. Like there's a lot of cases where like the developers want you to like build like a staircase, get to, like a Kyber brick or something like that. But what I do is I usually just get somebody on top of like a brick and then switch over to a Jedi and then just lift up the other character up to the thing.
My characters keep running off the brick when I do that. I try to do it.
It depends on the brick. I learned that. It depends on the brick. It needs to be one of the ones that like
that can like stack. Yeah.
No, you can tell that they put a lot of care into it.
Yeah. What are some things you like, Darin?
Just the lightsaber battles, like just being able to block them, and like especially if I'm playing in like a dark room, like Obi-Wan and Maul were like clashing or something. But I called my roommate over. I was like, "Look at this. This looks beautiful."
Yeah.
Like I love seeing just the reflections of the light.
Yeah.
Like, going off each other, and that space battles, I love the new flight mechanics. Like I will spend hours in space.
Yes, I love I love flying.
That's what I wanted to talk about, space battles. I saw an interview with the developer with space battles. I haven't like encountered anything yet, but apparently I don't know if you guys have come across this. Apparently, you can like just randomly run to like a Star Destroyer and then just like engage in like a space battle or like a little frigate or something, and then like you can like take over the ship. Apparently, like you can land and dock and like take it over, according to one of the developers. So I want to try that out.
Waiting for that.
Free mode.
Yeah, same.
Free play.
I want to find that.
Yeah,
that might only be like one of the things that happen like in that free play mode.
Right.
True.
Although there was one mission that I did. It was like just a space mission. I think it was like to deliver cargo from one planet to Coruscant or something. And as I'm going through hyperspace, it just stopped me because people would start attacking.
Oh, geez.
So it took me like 3 times, like 3 jumps to get there. And I don't know if that was just for the mission or like if that was something that can happen multiple times. But it was cool.
That's interesting. I feel like that's a good mechanic, though. That'd be pretty fun. Like, you're like, oh man, I'm good. And out of nowhere, just
pulled out of hyperspace.
Yeah. All right. So I want to talk about some things we didn't like maybe about the game, because I know there are some things. Like for me, we talked about the glitches a little bit. I just wish they would have done online co-op. I know it's probably difficult, but like I feel like that's what fans have been waiting for. And like they even recognized that. I was like, or no, it was an interview, like a transcript of an interview with like the lead developer, and they were like just talking about what things they like should have implemented or would have implemented, and then the guy was like, oh yeah, there's always the common complaints like, oh, wish there was online co-op, blah blah blah. And I was like, then why didn't you do it if that's a common complaint? Like, I don't know, I would have loved to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, it can't be that hard to put it in. I don't know anything about it, but
it's challenging.
But
I mean, okay, here's the biggest
like,
problem
compared to like multiplayer games that are out. Like co-op games that are already
the biggest problem that they were running into probably was their new engine with that, right? Because you got to think about it. You have to make sure that the engine itself is able to not only run in a server basis, right? Which is like whether it be like a player is hosting as a server, but also being a client. The problem interface between their engine and whatever connection service they're using, whether it be internal or external. That's probably why. It's weird though that they can still do like Steam remote play though. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, there's a workaround to actually do online multiplayer on Steam. Daniel, you and our friend Evan did it where you remote into the machine, but like apparently it's like really glitchy and laggy.
It's very it's laggy, and at the same time you're still in split screen. So like I don't care what Evan's doing. I just want to do my thing, you know? I'm happy we're in the same world, but like it's at the same time too, it's cut vertically. So like I have left side and he has like right side, something like that, which is, in my opinion, I think the worst way to cut it, because again, like with the new fighting and like gunning mechanics and stuff, you want to be able to see wide. Yeah, it just felt super squished. So there's a lot of misses there.
Yeah, but that's another thing I didn't really like, and you talked about, Daniel, but like when you're like in a boss battle, like your camera is like forced to be on the boss, which is like in principle sounds fine, but like Daniel, you and I both saw like mini kits, and we were like trying to like look to get them, and like we could not turn. We were like grabbed by the force, like couldn't turn our head. So that was one thing. I like the force camera, but like I wish like at times I could just like unlock or like click B to like unlock off, like ball cam in Rocket League, just like
I was expecting to do like that, or like Legend of Zelda where you're like scoping in kind of, and then you just like you let go of the trigger and then you can look around.
But
I'm really picky on the levels, just because I feel like the first Lego Star Wars game also did them really, really well. So like one of my biggest things is that the Obi-Wan Anakin fight is not, you can't switch between them.
I know.
I love that in the original game.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if you do co-op for that mission, if it would be both, or is it not?
No, it's
because
not,
you have the droids with
I
you.
did co-op with it. Yeah, the other one's either 3PO or R2.
So when you're just Obi-Wan versus Anakin, there's just a droid watching from a distance? Like, that seems pretty...
that brings up... I mean, Jake, you and I were talking about that too. That breaks up the pacing of that level. Like, just the random...
You're like, this is the
moments.
climax of like my childhood. Oh, let me...
Yeah, and then you have to like put in a little code as 3PO or something.
That's another thing I like. Like with the upgrade tree, I really like. I bought an upgrade that I can choose to skip those, or if I complete them, you get like 2,500 coins
studs
every time you or studs every time you do it. Also, just the sounds of
breaking
the
things,
breaking stuff.
Yeah, the sound of just breaking stuff, but also just the sound then of just picking up a bunch of studs is like so calming to me.
I don't know about what it is, but it's just something about that just puts me in like pure bliss.
I need like a recording of it before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd help.
Like just the little purple stud recording sound.
Yes. Oh man, dude, the purple ones.
Dude, imagine the sound of. I'm probably gonna cut this in the podcast, but imagine like the sound of like a purple stud, like the bling right as you climax, like.
Why would you cut that? That's great.
I don't know. Maybe I will. I'm sorry if my family is listening to this. But yeah, sorry. Speaking of going back to things I don't like, no character creator. I know Daniel, you were mad about this.
Yes, I was saying that too. I wanted that so bad. But yeah, again, this is like one of the widest arrays of characters.
But that's the thing.
We've seen in the
I think we can't complain too much because there are so many characters. Like, you get to play as Mama the Hutt, Yaddle, or a Gonk Droid. Like, it sucks you can't do character creation, but like you still get all those things, so that's nice.
Yeah, it like all it really like kind of precludes on is like you putting in like Superman in that game or something like that, or like your own custom. I mean, I would have liked to make Jedi Bob, but.
Another level, I know I keep on harping on it, but the pod racing thing, like getting into it was a problem. The actual pod racing level,
I love it.
I thought you
loved it in this version.
I loved it. Did you not?
Daniel,
it felt like a Mario Kart race to me.
Daniel's just not a gamer.
Mario Kart.
I'm not a gamer. I did not like it. I much preferred like the OG.
Really?
This one just felt really scuffed to me. Because like there's times where I was like driving and it would like auto pull me in a different direction even though I was like still on the course. So like I was like going towards like a mini kit and like, oh no, you can't go that way. I'm like, the mini kit's right there. Take me to it,
The stress of getting all the mini kits during like the race though, it is very stressful.
That's why I'm like, I'm just gonna rush this story and then go back and enjoy the collectibles. And I wish I freaking bought this this upgrade that like lets me see where every single Kyber brick is on the map. But
it's
like,
kind of annoying.
Yeah, it just like freaking my screen is just filled with blue like balls, and I'm like, can I toggle this off or like what? It's really annoying, but it's like kind of forcing me now to want to go and like get them even more. So that's kind of a plus. So I can get them off my screen.
Yeah.
No, I really do like how you can like go into the map and like basically target a mini kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like.
Like I really like that.
Yeah, I like the upgrade system. I think is really cool. I like that. This game just has like a lot. Like I know it's like the Skywalker Saga, so it's like 9 films, but even beyond just the story, like it has a lot.
It really
to do.
Sets itself apart of like any other Lego game.
Yeah,
like even the most recent one that just came out is nothing like it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the free roam? Like having the ability to go from like planet to planet and all that.
I think that's really cool. Just being able to go to any planet, like in Star Wars, like that's. I don't know. I feel like I want like a regular Star Wars game, like not Lego that I can do that too. That's just a cool mechanic.
Yeah, I haven't really tried it out myself, but I saw like you know how you can like pick each levels and like each episode. So like,
yeah,
sequels, or whatever.
Trequels.
Apparently, if like trequels, apparently like if you go to say Mustafar in sequels versus Mustafar in prequels, like it's a completely different.
Really?
Planet.
Huh.
That's cool.
Because like it got completely snowed over and like it got cooled off in the sequels, but then back in the prequels, it's still a volcanic planet. Yeah,
that's cool.
Interesting.
That's just and so like I haven't tried it, but I'm kind of excited to see that, and I want to know if like maybe there's like extra collectibles you get if it changes or something.
Right, because you can like maybe within where the lava used to flow, you could actually walk down there and grab something.
Yeah. But no, I'm really excited to just explore all the planets.
What do you think about like the DLC, like the Bad Batch is coming out and Solo? I think I'm excited.
Did we
for
get
those.
that from what we ordered or no?
I think so.
I think.
Yes.
I think we get the. I'm not sure about the Bad Batch one, but I think we get the Solo one for sure.
Man,
yeah,
the Bad Batch one. I would rather have Bad Batch over Solo.
Oh yeah. No, the only thing I like not disappointed in because they kind of gave us a huge game already, but I wish we had like levels for them, like 1 or 2 levels for the character packs. Yeah, it would be like imagine like doing the soul run like for the Solo pack.
Or, yeah,
like, true.
Like going on to Poca City as the Bad Batch.
Maybe that'll be like another game.
For DLC.
Because like because they did this is the Skywalker Saga, so it's the 9 films. Maybe they'll do like Lego Star Wars, like the expanded universe or something, and do like Mandalorian featured stuff, like Boba Fett,
things like Rogue One,
like the other adventures.
Yeah. Maybe it's just Lego Star Wars, not the Skywalker Saga.
It just was Lego Star Wars Plus.
Yeah.
It's just Lego Star Wars.
Yeah,
everything else.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd play that, honestly.
I think it's a branding
I
problem.
would
You have to
totally
come up
play
with
that.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll get stuff like with the new movies coming out and new shows, like The Acolyte is coming. I don't know. But sorry, one last thing back with the
Some Kenobi levels.
Yeah. One last thing
Yes.
back with the game developers. I read on like IMDb trivia that apparently the game developers for the Skywalker Saga played all of the other Lego Star Wars games in preparation for this. So that must have been nice. Like coming, like you're working and like I'm just imagining like a developer like his wife, like, honey, come spend time with the kids. I can't share, and I'm on the clock.
He's like, I'm only on episode 4. I gotta be halfway through Hoth by 8 o'clock.
We have the Hoth meeting tomorrow. Yeah. Also, Daniel, I think you're gonna be streaming this, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start streaming it every now and then, you know?
Yeah. So everyone check out his Twitch as well.
Yeah, been making more
Be linked
progress.
below. I think that's mainly what I want to talk about for Lego Star Wars. I know we were all over the place, but it's just weird. This is our first time kind of covering a video game, and also just like nostalgia behind it, and like it's a new one. So I don't know. Do you guys have any last minute thoughts you want to talk about with this?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of stuff.
Okay, Darin, do you want to join us for our next segment, Totally Tubular Trivia Tidbits?
Oh, of course.
You go first, Jake.
All right. Did you know that Microsoft bought Minecraft for $2.5 billion because of a tweet?
Yes.
You did know that?
Yeah.
Did you know
I
that?
don't know what that tweet says.
So back when Minecraft started out, they had this like policy that prohibited servers from offering pay-to-win services that players could buy to like enhance their gameplay experience. But because Minecraft kind of like blew up so fast, they didn't have like the infrastructure to actually like enforce this when servers like Mineplex and other servers were like building and getting huge. So finally, like a few years later, like 3 years after the public launch of Minecraft, they got around to enforcing that. And like when they had more funding and like a team, and the servers and players that had kind of already built in this pay to win experience got furious and sent like spammed Notch, like the creator of Minecraft, with like a bunch of like hate emails and messages. And Notch was so fed up that he just like, as a kind of like a joke, tweeted like, "Hey, any big company want to buy my shares of Minecraft?" Because he didn't like want to deal with the complaints anymore. And then a Microsoft executive actually reached out and called up Minecraft, like Mojang, and asked if he was serious. And that kind of led to negotiations that led to Microsoft acquiring Minecraft.
Dang, I mean, I guess just send all your tweets out, all those intrusive thoughts.
All those drafts. Yeah.
It's like, all right, you want it? Take it.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about just how community can impact developers like that, you know?
Yeah.
Both for good and for bad. I mean, Notch is sitting pretty happy now, I guess, with
Yeah,
the money he
$2.5
made from
billion.
that.
Yeah. Just tweet it out like at Microsoft. You want it?
At Microsoft, you want whatever we want podcast. I have another one. Did you know that Steven Spielberg almost directed Shrek?
Yes, I did actually.
How do you know these, bro?
Because
I
know the things that you know. That's the thing.
I learned this today.
I was gonna say, I knew Michael Myers wasn't the original voice of Shrek, but
That I didn't know.
Yeah, so apparently, in 1990, Spielberg read the children's book Shrek when it was first published and like immediately bought the rights to make it into a movie. And he originally wanted to make it a traditional 2D animated film, and he actually wanted Bill Murray as Shrek and Steve Martin as Donkey. But the film did not end up getting made because Spielberg kind of got caught up making this little indie film called Jurassic Park. You may have heard of it.
That's what I'm saying. Get caught up with that. Yeah.
So a year after Jurassic Park debuted, DreamWorks Animation was actually founded, and a film producer convinced Spielberg to sell the movie rights to their studio. And so then without Spielberg anymore, DreamWorks developed Shrek, the Shrek we know and love today.
I'm sure it was switched around. Spielberg directs Shrek, and then DreamWorks gets Jurassic Park.
Makes a Shrek like a Jurassic Park.
And then like Shrek is all like serious kind of thing. Live action Shrek.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Who would play live action Shrek?
The Dave Bautista just jacked.
Dave Bautista.
Spielberg actually has gone on record, and he said that he does approve of Shrek, and he praised like Mike Myers' Shrek portrayal, and he praised his intense dedication and performance.
What if he didn't approve
To
of
the
it?
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he didn't love
didn't
it?
approve? Yeah.
I don't know.
I approve of Shrek.
It has that. Imagine that's how they market it, like Shrek, and it has like Spielberg's stamp of approval, like on the cover of every single one.
The Spielberg stamp of approval. I love that.
That'd be amazing. That would like fit with Shrek though, like Shrek approved by Spielberg.
Yeah, honestly,
it's like instead of having like on books how it has like the New York Times bestseller, it just goes Spielberg approved.
Yeah. I do have one more. Did you know that Gwyneth Paltrow almost did not play Pepper Potts?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So back in 2006, when they were casting for Iron Man, Jon Favreau first offered the role of Pepper Potts to Rachel McAdams, but she actually turned it down. And Rachel McAdams actually went on, and she plays Dr. Christine Palmer later in Doctor Strange. So Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't the first choice, but when she was offered it, she still almost didn't take the part, didn't accept the role, because she like just started a family and just had some kids. But she learned that the filming was happening only 15 minutes away from her house where her kids are at, so she could be close to her kids. She like took the part, and thank goodness she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out.
I wonder who his third choice would have been.
Me.
Yeah. You when you were like 7.
You show up in a ginger wig.
Yeah. When I'm like, I don't know, like 6.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are all my totally trivia tidbits. I mean, everyone check out Darin below.
Go like my recent TikTok. I just posted one.
Yeah, the TikToks. He's on TikTok. Everything will be linked below. Darren, appreciate you coming on the show and talking Lego Star Wars. I know we were kind of all over the place.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a good game. Definitely gonna be playing it more.
Oh yeah.
I plan on finishing it by 2 days from now.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You have like a schedule. You're like, okay, I'm gonna be
gotta get through this.
episode 3 in 20 minutes.
Yeah, my Lego Star Wars schedule is more organized than my life right now. All right. Well, Darren, thank you, and we'll get you on the podcast again soon.
Thank you so much.
Boosh, we're out of the main segment. Darren, thank you again for coming on the show. All right, ready for Patron Shout-Outs?
Yes, hit me with them.
Cue Big Star Wars music. Boosh, got Patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thank you so much for listening to this here. Thank you to the shout-out. If you'd like to support us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. You get the audio episode early, special benefits, cool perks, all that jazz, and more. Yeah. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to leave a review over on Apple Podcasts or comment on our YouTube, we will shout them out in this section here. I don't think we have any new comments, which is totally fine, totally tubular. But feel free to leave a review or comment. We'll shout them out. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening. You ready for the introduction?
Yep. Tell me when.
When?
We just talked about whatever we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you so much for listening. Next week, we've got, I think next week is my birthday weekend and Easter. So I think, I haven't actually told Daniel this, but we have a surprise for Daniel, I think, if everything works out, for something he can dress up in. And I'm going to be wearing like birthday stuff.
Oh?
Yeah.
You're going to be in your birthday suit?
Yep. The whole time. All right. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.